Let's talk about getting a deal. What, as a buyer, what can somebody do to kind of look on getting a deal on a boat? Like, what's some tactics that they might be able to use to find a good deal on a boat?
That's a good question. You might want to look around at. So let's say you already know what boat you want to buy, what brand. You know, you're just waiting for the right moment.
Mm-hmm.
You want to follow up a little bit with where the dealer or distributor is to see how they're doing with the stock mainly. You know, if it's a good or bad moment to buy in the market. Look a little bit at the prices, what because most of it when you get a good price is on some stock they want to get rid of. Um, what you might also want to check on that it's the actual condition of some boats. 'Cause some boats are brand new, but because they're a year old, 2 years old, and maybe the whoever represents the dealer, they're keeping in the boat, out in the yard or
Mm-hmm.
exposed, and yeah, it might be a brand new boat, but it's technically, it's already a year and a half, 2 years into the, yeah, it's
Into
getting
sitting.
exposed to the elements. Yeah, so you
Mm-hmm.
might think, okay, wow, yeah, I'm getting a crazy little steep discount, but whenever so that happen, you want to really look down into it and see, make a good inspection on the boat, see if you're not really, getting something that might bring you a problem out there. Because the dealer, they just want to something to sell the boat, and they're not really just going to be after it all the time. They're just going to keep it stored. Sometimes the batteries might get drained. You might get a battery that's been not very well kept, or I don't know, if they use the boat as a demo boat and they made 1,000 hours on the engines. And well, I mean, I've seen it personally on some other boats, some other brands where it's a brand new boat. It has already 100 hours, 80 hours, like 60 hours. It really happens, and whoever used
Wow.
that, it's sea trials, flat out going max speed.
Mm-hmm.
No, nobody flushing those engines. Yeah, nobody really, it's because it's not an own boat at the end of the day. It's just a demo boat. It comes down to the employees whoever take down the boat and take care of it. So I would say whenever you want to look at the deal in a new market boat, you might want to look at some stock they want to get rid of, but make sure you make your research on that, and not just because they gave me a crazy discount on this, just go and take it blindly. Just do your research,
Right.
look at the boat because you might get a little lemon. Um,
Yeah. What would be a good question to ask? Or a couple questions that you would ask.
where the boat has been kept, where they kept the boat, where their facility is, where's the service center. Yeah, it mostly come down to a visual inspection. If they kept the boat in the water, there's a lot of brand new boats. They just put it on the water and they just wait there until they get sold, and they might be 6 months in the water, and you got to check the anodes, see how they are. Visual
Mm-hmm.
inspection,
Yeah.
the bottom pane. It's something that you will see it, and make sure you check the bilge. See of corrosion. That's how you really want to tell how the boat was treated, and also the
Yeah.
overall quality of the components. So maybe that's something good you want to. I mean, if you're looking into, I don't know, getting a new brand that's you're not really familiar with it. Maybe just look at the older stock they have. They have a 2020, early 2024 boat in stock, and they had a 2025 brand new. They're the same boat. You should, okay, let me take a look at this 2024 brand. Okay, they've been storing this boat and the dealer, maybe outside or something. They've been using for sea trials. I want to see the condition of the boat. That will I'll also tell you a lot of it. Um, you know,
Yeah, I like that question of like where is the boat being kept, and then also like those questions around how was the boat maintained and where was it sitting? Because so if it's like you said, if it's a 2023, it's obviously been sitting somewhere for 2 years. If it's got 100 hours on it, like you can kind of like ask questions about that, and then your visual inspection would kind of back that up, and that's also really good to like if you're looking at a 2023 model and you want to kind of like look into it, go find that same model as a 2015 or similar model and then inspect it and kind of see, oh, that, and then you can ask questions based on what you saw on the older model. That's really good. I like that you said that.
Yeah, exactly. Also, to see if there's some other upgrades or some changes that they have done on the boat from the feedback of the buyer. So, yeah, you might be
Mm,
getting maybe a good deal on a old stock boat that's still brand new, but maybe on the new one they changed these features, and now it's because they had some complaints in the past. So you wanna look at that as well.
right, right.
Um,
Okay,
yeah,
now go ahead.
no, sorry, and then also because here in Florida, the sun, and all these new boats, they also like to to change the color to make these new fancy looking boats like gray, black boats, all sort of
Hmm.
colors where they here in the sun it just eats it up, and it's really crazy. I've seen it before. Some client boats that they bought where they were getting. The roof of the boat it was black. They like to make these T-top black roofs, and they
Hmm.
was getting super oxidized from the sun. Like it was you see all the after a year the whole roof was all white. So they
Hmm.
went, they buff it, but after 2 months it was again white. So the
Right.
question started rising of what's going on here, and it ended up being that some of these European boats they use different rated paint. It's more for cold environments. They don't withstand too much the insane heat that we have over here, so they were not simply withholding. They were not doing it. So the whole thing got to be repainted, and that's also going back to what I said. Like this, some of these European boats they misjudge the conditions that we have out there.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy because and you wouldn't know something like that unless you looked at like an older model and like kind of like, whoa, what happened here? I like
Yeah,
kind of going back to that upgrade. That's a good thing that you said with the upgrade and like maybe this has a different XYZ that's nicer. What would be like if you were trying to sell your boat? What would be some features or upgrades that you would do to maybe kind of like up the value of your boat? So like if you're comparing two boats to buy. This one's got whatever GPS or XYZ features. What would be some of those features that you could put on your boat in order to maybe kind of bring the value of it up? So I'm thinking like you're talking about how you get like you can upgrade. Like if you're looking at a 2020 model and you look at the 2024 model, there might be some upgrades on that boat that makes it more valuable. So like if you're kind of like if you're trying to sell your boat, what do you find as specific features that add value to the boat where it's like I wouldn't put any money into buying a bigger GPS because that really doesn't bring any value versus like, oh yeah, if you put this money into the stereo, the value of the boat's going to be way more expensive. Like, are there certain features that you would encourage someone upgrade on a boat to make it worth more money, or is it pretty much kind of like not really don't do much upgrades to kind of like increase the value of the boat?
I don't really think there's like a specific actually like thing. Okay, let's like you said, like a special audio package you'll get here and there. Um, at the end of the day, some people, if you're not really going offshore or something, some people are changing, let's say the radar for a night vision camera. That might be
Okay.
something a few customers mention, or from my perspective, I don't like when boats they get a lot too many stuff. Like the small boats, they like to pack in okay a seakeeper, like the lower end versions. Small generator, all this little tiny stuff that they're not really, they're just out there, to say that they're available, but they're not really meant for lasting years, and they're gonna bring problems.
Right.
Like this small AC, there's some 12-volt powered AC out there. They might run for a year, 2 year before they bring any problem to you, and it's just gonna be something else gonna be sitting bad on your boat, So when you're gonna go sell it, and you're gonna have the surveyor come and, oh yeah, this doesn't work, and this doesn't work, this doesn't work.
Hey there, sorry to take you away from the video, but real quick, did you know that on average a boat owner will spend between $1,000 and $5,000 a year just on servicing their engine? And you could actually pocket and save a lot of that money if you would just do the service yourself. It might seem like a daunting task, but I guarantee you virtually everyone can do it with our guidance and the Boaters program. This is just one skill that you could learn inside the program because we have hundreds of other videos teaching you all kinds of boating skills as well as a weekly live stream where we have questions and answers with me, as well as a chat feature where you can send videos and pictures, ask all kinds of questions, or look for some advice or some guidance on a project that you're doing on your boat. You can join the program by hitting the first link in the description, clicking join, or visiting bornagainboating.com. Now back to the video.